Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Future Friday, we're going to talk about Tesla bot. So let's dive right into it. So what exactly happened? Well, Tesla AI Day happened on 20 August 2021. Now this event is what we classify as a recruitment strategy, meaning you have to understand it. There are like classification of people. You have people that are like, basic people who are like, they do the job so they can feed themselves. And then you have smart people, like really smart people. They need incentive to work. They do not have to work for money because like that part is sorted. They're like, dude, we got this. It's just like you have to give them a challenge. Basically, the scientists that worked on Apollo project, they were driven by that. So you need something like that. So generally a good company will always have this sort of strategy meeting where they will like try to get the best of the best. So this was the whole point of this sort of situation, recruitment strategy. And they showed prototypes and actual demonstration of things that they are working on. For example, this exact computer system that they are trying to build so they can have ludicrously high powerful and ludicrously efficient AI neural training network, supercomputer, so to say. Now you have to understand, supercomputer in the old days was designed custom built, as in like there will be a company that is like, hey, I want to build a supercomputer. They will design everything, as in chip, motherboards, processing unit, everything, and then they'll mass produce it, and then they'll have a supercomputer. Now after that, that architecture has been abandoned. Now what we have, what we call as off-the-shelf supercomputers, meaning you can just go and buy. So current supercomputers are like, hey, you have this Tesla card like from Nvidia, and you're just gonna buy 10,000 of that. You have this Xenon processor, you're gonna buy 50,000 of those. So right now that's our current architecture. So we abandoned that old supercomputer architecture. So this company is trying to do that again. Basically they're gonna build their custom architecture from level 1 to complete product, meaning from actual instruction set architecture to the whole complete hardware stack has to be built custom. So they have this whole complicated design. Now I will talk about this in computer Wednesday. The idea is, because they are designing from scratch, they have complete control over the system, and they know what they want for AI training. That's the whole point. This is not very good for like weather prediction and all that. This is specifically built for one task. So having that benefit, they are like, okay, how the heck we gonna handle the power delivery? How the heck we gonna handle the cooling system? How the heck we gonna handle the interconnect? That's a very serious limitation. How the heck you connect multiple of these nodes this way? So they have already built a module. They have successfully connected 1 or 2 modules, but they have not connected hundreds of the modules. So if you watch the Q&A part of this video, they will also, it's like, have you figured out the scaling issue? They said, no, we are working on it. So that's the whole point. And Elon Musk flat out says, like, if you like to work on these sort of projects, do come and join us. So that was the whole point. This was the main aim. After this, they talked about Tesla bot. Now idea of this Tesla bot is to replace low wage workers, meaning for example textile industry, and like textile industry has really bad situations right now when it comes to human labor. And on top of that, like smartphone manufacturing, because smartphones are produced in such a ludicrous variety that it cannot be mass produced. For example, you will have a company like Samsung that's like, I'm mass producing RAM chips. Everybody is like, awesome. Then there will be a company that is mass producing basically motherboard for mobile phones. That's like awesome. But the moment it comes to packaging it, then there will be like, we have 300 models. Samsung literally has that many models, and so that fundamentally means you have to have a human there to like, okay, I'm gonna take this motherboard, I'm gonna take this module, this display, and I'm gonna put this case cover. That case cover will have different color because you could have like 10 colors in one SKU. So you get the point. Like, because of such a high demand of flexibility, you have to use humans. Consequence, they are paid very less, and it's not a work that you enjoy to do. People do it because like, again, you have to feed yourself, so people do that, but nobody wants to do that. And this sort of bot should replace that. Be mindful, like people are like, what kind of work you can do where building a dedicated robot is not wise. That's the whole point. Wherever you are changing too many things, like for example smartphone manufacturing, even laptop manufacturing, textile industry, these sort of industry will love something like this if true. And whole aim of Tesla is that Tesla already has an AI division. They already has a vision system, meaning the making camera equipment that is necessary for high throughput, and they're just going to use their technology from cars. So they already figured out the battery system, they already figured out the vision system, they already figured out all these things. So they're like, why not just put it into a bot shape? And the future goal of this, like what they are trying to do is like, there is a long-term aim. The long-term aim is like, it should be able to do everything a human does, not Gen 1. Be very mindful, be very realistic here. It's not gonna be like, hey, can you go to grocery store? No, it has no idea of that. All you gonna do is like, company people who's gonna do is like, they're gonna sit here, okay, you sit here, you do this thing. They're gonna show it and like maybe even program it in rudimentary level, and then it's gonna do it, like, because clothes it has very flexibility, so you need vision system to compensate for that. So that could be done. the complete thing is like, hey, can you bring me milk? Yeah, good luck with that. That's not happening anytime soon. It can be done, not anytime soon. And if it works out, if the huge claims of this and all that just works out, it will change the future. That's absolute reality if it works out. Now let's dive down a bit. AI level. Now this is where you have to understand that Tesla, as in Elon Musk, has created a cult sort of aurora around him, where everybody thinks that whatever he says is true. No matter how many times he have missed deadline, no matter how many times he have abandoned projects, no matter how many times flat out is like, yeah, this does not work, and I'm just gonna pretend that did not happen. Or how many times it's like, flat out vaporware, it's like, we're gonna put rockets in our car. I'm like, dude, you have a rocket company, you are building a better rocket company, why the heck you don't have a rocket car anyway? Oh, it does not work, then why the heck you made a claim? And because of the fangirl mentality that people have, fanboy mentality people have, it's like they just believe whatever he says. It's like he says something, you really believe him. It's like, am I the only one old enough where I remember like he was claiming to land on Mars by 2020? Like, am I the only one? Because I distinctly remember that, like, there were articles, hundreds of articles. It's like, why the March 2020 plan is not crazy. I'm like, no, it is crazy. It did not happen. So that's the reality of it. That Aurora creates an illusion of hey, everything that Tesla does is the best at it. No, the reality is flat out, no, they are behind in many things. For example, Tesla, at this point in time, if you buy, it's not autopilot. They claim it, which at this point in time, US government is seriously warning them, dude, stop doing that. UK government is like, dude, this is garbage. Do not claim this. And I will explain that further. Is that they are stuck at level 2. They have never upgraded from level 2. For example, you will still have a situation where you have a car and bam. This happens often. This is not something that rarely happens. This is often happening scenario. Now again, level 2 is good, but what is better than level 2? Level 4. Now you have to understand this. Level 0 is you have nothing in your car. Car does not nothing. Level 1, some cars have that, even cheap cars have that. That is emergency auto braking and things of that nature. Level 2, this car technology, basically it can drive itself, but you always have to be at the steering wheel. And that's the whole problem with this system. This level 2 and level 3 have same kind of situation. It's really bad. For example, if you read the manual, like what you're supposed to do, Tesla is like, always have hand on the steering and always pay attention to the road. Now here's the, imagine your car starts to do something bad and you're like, dude, this will end into accident. You can panic, you will freak out, but then you're like, okay, I'm gonna take control over the car. Here's the deal, accident has already happened by that time. You cannot take over a car that you do not know. You do not know which, let's say it's a geared car, which gear it is in. You do not know which RPM it is in. You do not know how much clutch is pressed. You do not know how much brake is pressed. You do not know how much accelerator has been provided. You have no awareness of the vehicle, so you cannot apply instantaneously. So this whole idea of like, we're gonna have a car that's like, driving, it's like either you are driving or you're not driving. You cannot have in between. That's really bad for human psychology. So Tesla is still stuck at that. They do want to push past it, but they are always failing, and I think the primary reason is that like they do not want to use LiDAR. Now here's the comparison to that, Waymo. Now here's the funny thing, there is nobody in the steering wheel. There is no person. Like, you watch every single video of Tesla self-driving, you have to see a person putting their hand on the steering wheel. They did not had that steering wheel detect function, and a lot of accident happened and Tesla got sued. It's like, dude, you called autopilot. It's like, Tesla is like, no, it's level 2. You always have to pay attention. It's like, then why do you call it autopilot? It's not autopilot, it's fancy cruise control. And you can see that even in demo, like they are always showing that your hand must be on the steering wheel. It detects whether your hand is on the steering wheel. And you look at Waymo, there is not even a single person in that, because Waymo is at level 4. Yes, they are still stuck at level 2. Waymo is at level 4. Let that sink in. So what does that mean? That simply means they do not need anybody. Why? They have a basic same system, vision system as Tesla, but they also added LiDAR. And LiDAR does not have the issue where you have an absolute blockage and you will still ram into it because it got confused. LiDAR do not get confused. So, and again, I do understand what Elon Musk is thinking. It's like, hey, camera, we use cameras and we are pretty good at it. Then why don't computers do? I'm like, our brain went through billions of years of evolution to reach here. It's not one day, ta-da. It's like billions of years of evolution has to go through to create an optical nerve center that is so good that we never trip up. And if you reach level 5, you don't even need a steering wheel. Now you may be like, why the heck level 4 has steering wheels? Well, it has enough intelligence that it can detect if it's in a messy situation where it's like bro, it's like, let's say gridlock or something like that. It's like, bro, please take over, like I can't handle this. So it can do that. And like, let's say you want to park in a very weird place, this car would be like, bro, I can't harness it, can you please take over? Level 5 is like, you will not have a steering wheel. So level 5 is needed for what we call human replacement. And this is the one contest you have to understand. There are Chinese companies that have level 4 vehicles. They have actual robot taxi, which he already claimed. He already claimed, like, Tesla will be the most profitable car simply because it will have, like, robot taxi services. That never came to be, because they are still stuck at level 2 and they still have accidents that literally baffles the mind. It's like, dude, just add a goddamn lidar system. So reality is, because of that illusion that, Elon Musk is the god, it's like nobody figures it out. It's like, dude, you're still stuck at level 2. There are actual robotic services that people are, I'm provided the video down below, where people are actually using this sort of thing. Like, that threshold has been crossed. Elon Musk is still stuck at level 2. So be very mindful. It creates an illusion that, they are the best of the best. They are not by a long shot. Now let's come to the mechanical aspect of it, or the reality of it. Well, making straight knee is flat out impossible. For example, you may think I'm standing here. You may think you may be standing, but here's the deal: we humans do not stand. Two-legged creatures are flat out unstable, and given the fact that our knees are not like robotic knees, we have straight knees. Our knees are like this. Like, if you look at any robot knees are always like this. It could be in positive direction, basically in negative direction, or positive direction, but there will always be bent in the knees. You will not design a robot that has straight knees. Why? We do not have technology for that. Flat out, we do not have technology for that. The moment you make straight knee, you have to be in what we call constant fall state. It's almost like being in orbit. That why the heck human body is so efficient, like how much energy, calorie we can consume and how many kilometers we can run. We are the best in the planet. Like, I'm not even joking. I did not even knew that we can outrange a horse. That's the whole point, because we are never running or anything. We are just falling, and falling with style, so to say. So that's the whole point. The walking motion is literally your leg is like, falling you forward. You're just guiding it. And when I'm standing like this, like, if you had a very good pressure sensitivity with high resolution mat, and you can put me on top of that, you will always, no matter which human, you will always find there is a point of basically center of a mass, you can say. It's always moving. It's like this. Now, of course, I'm exaggerating, but that's the reality of it. You are never standing still. Like, if I put a sensor there, like, of course, some people they're good, but like, again, leg is doing that motion work. And even if you're wearing shoes, sandals, or whatever have you, you always have leg muscles that are working. That's why leg have that many muscles. I would urge you to please Google how many bones we have in our legs. Foot, just the foot part. Just look it up. So when they claim 40 actuators for a humanoid bot, I'm like, no. Just flat out no. 40 is just not enough. You're not gonna have fingers if you have that many. That's the reality of it. That's why Boston Dynamics does not have fingers. Like, here's the deal about fingers: we don't have muscle in them. Muscles are here. Like, literally, they are remote drive-by-wire technology. They're literally drive-by-wire technology. So that's the whole thing. The physical reality of building, I went from building a car to building a humanoid robot. Yeah, lol, no, that's not happening. And not to mention, if they showed folded knee, it's like almost like this, I would have bought it. The moment they showed the knees are straight, I'm like, yeah, that's not happening, because we flat out do not have artificial muscle. I would urge you to watch a movie known as iRobot. Now, whoever the design engineer for that movie was, did amazing job. That's the only way to make a humanoid that looks like humanoid, but they had a magical muscle structure. Once we have artificial motion, we can make robotics next day. We can just copy paste a human body there. But right now, using motors, it's just not gonna happen. Motors are not that precise, not that flexible, so to say. I mean, like, think of it this way: like, we don't even have a motor here, we just twist it. So that's the whole thing. Reality is flat out not happening. Not in 1 year. Like, it will take them at least 5. And this leads us to very sad state of our media at this point in time. And you have to understand, journalists, they are getting paid. They're not doing it for free. They are getting paid. So it's their job, as in, like, they're like literally in their ethics and literally in their job contract, please do goddamn research. And they are not doing it. Literally every Tom, Dick and Harry is like, if company makes a claim, they just treat it as a fact. Like, Tesla bought to be ready next year. I'm like, most companies are like, Tesla aims. No, Tesla boss. It's like, there is literally news articles that claim Tesla revealed. Dude, this is not a robot. This is a dude in a spandex. This is not a reveal. Reveal simply means you have already built it and you're showing it to the world. He did reveal, like, let's say, Cybertruck. That was a reveal. It was a physical hardware that was revealed to the world. Cybertruck. Again, what happened to that? That was a real thing. Revealed to the world. That makes sense. This is not a reveal. Like, how the heck people are using that word? Like, I barely know English, yet I know reveal means that. It's like you have to physically show something that you have built. This is not that. So this whole reality where every Tom, Dick and Harry is just like claiming things is really, really bad for people's perception. Because at the end of the day, you will reach a point where you do not trust anyone. And that's really bad for it, because you could have a good project and it will get destroyed simply because nobody trusts you. And nobody does a simple back of the envelope math calculation. For example, human body at bare minimum generates around 100 watt of heat. When you are exerting yourself, you can go around 2 to 300 watts, or 500. Like if you are a very powerful athlete, you can reach almost 700 watts, but let's be realistic, 5 to 600 watt, like let's say half kilowatt. Awesome. How the heck you gonna provide half kilowatt power to this body for that long? Like how long is that long? How many batteries you're gonna have? Because if you have too much battery, your basically inertia system would be very wrecked, so to say. So how the heck are you gonna do that? Like basic math calculation, people would like, dude, this puppy will at best case scenario will only last 30 minutes. If they had done that basic math scenario, they're like, dude, it cannot do a job from like 9 to 7 kind of job scenario. So people would have like, hey, let's temper our expectation, because every time you lose your expectation, you get a bit jaded, and you could reach a point where it's like, even if there is awesome technology, people will simply not trust it because they have been burnt enough times, and we really don't want that. And there is no fact checking done. It's like, Tesla has the most advanced AI system. I'm like, dude, they are stuck at level 2, legally speaking. Like legally, even United Kingdom is like, dude, what the hell, do not sell it here, like by claiming it has autopilot. It's level 2. And at this point in time, the whole world, including YouTubers, I like again, thankfully there are some YouTubers that do their research. Most of the YouTubers, even including Indian YouTubers, they are like just hype porn. It's just like hype, more hype, even more hype. It's like, dude, calm down, think about it. It's like they're claiming they're the best. Can you check it? You can check it. You're like, then why the heck you still have to hold the steering? Why the heck Tesla is like, hey, dude, you're always supposed to stay in charge. It's like, then why the heck you are calling it autopilot? If I have to stay in charge, that's called driving. It's not called autopilot, it calls driving. Then why the heck I have to stay in charge? So that's the whole thing. Nobody's doing basic fact checking. It's like they said it, so people believed it, and because it looks hype, looks good, everybody wants to believe it. So this is a really sad state of our media. I'm really worried, because tomorrow we may have a good technology, may have something that could save our world. Like for example, let's say, how about putting solar panel on top of parking lots? It will save your car. It will provide electricity, but everybody is like, burnt from solar because they wanted to put it below road. I'm like, so this is really, really sad about our current media structure, and they're getting paid millions of dollars. It's like, this is bad, really bad. So this was my presentation on Tesla bot. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment, because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.